So there are essentially 3 things I need you to take away from this video. Number 1, you have a story, and your story can point you in the direction of your most profitable niche. Number 2, your story is your unfair advantage and that thing that makes you credible and authentic. And number 3, your story is not really for you, but it's about all of those people you're going to help. And that being said, when I'm talking about story, I'm talking about your experience. Now, this doesn't have to be some earth-shattering experience, but think about something that you've overcome, or think about something you've always been good at, like writing, or helping others with, like editing. But at the end, you want to think about how you've either transformed yourself or helped someone else transform. So I'm going to give you a couple examples, share with you some stories of people just like you, and hopefully you can get a sense of what they went through and how they followed their story to their success and what can work for you too. So the first person I want to introduce you to is Amy Moyrin. Now, Amy is a world-renowned author. She's actually written 4 books, and she's the editor of Very Well Mind. What led her on her path was that she lost her mom when she was only 23 years old, and then just a few years later, at 26 years old, her husband passed away as well. She said it was during a particularly dark time that she sat down, and as she had been studying things that mentally strong people did to get through grief, she wrote herself a letter, and she ended up with 13 things mentally strong people don't do. She said it brought her so much comfort that she posted it online so that hopefully it would bring someone else comfort. Well, that letter was read by over 50 million people. And that letter ultimately turned into a book, and then another and another and another. Now, Amy's work helps people all over the world to cope with grief and loss, to be mentally strong, and to live very well lives. But it all came from her story, her path of grief and loss. The next person I want to introduce you to is Sheri Gaba. Sheri has won awards for her work in the law of sobriety. She's written best-selling books, and she was Dr. Drew's go-to therapist on Celebrity Rehab and all of their spin-off shows. Sheri's focus is on individuals and family struggling with addiction, in recovery, and in codependent relationships. The reason why she's able to be so successful and she's so passionate and she knows so much is because she found herself at 40 years old codependent in a relationship with an addict. It ultimately ended in divorce, but from that, she was able to do the work on herself to find out what worked for her and what would work for others. And here we see again a person who's used their own story, their own experience, their own journey to not only fuel their path and point them in the direction that they should go, but to help other people on the way. Last but not least, I want to introduce you to Badiqua Simon. Now, Badiqua is not just a medical social worker, she's also the founder of Black Girls in Social Work, which at the time of this recording had almost 21,000 members in their Facebook group. The group provides opportunities for mentorship, self-care meetups, and resources to social workers to help them navigate the confusing space that is often the social work profession. And she's just written a book called Becoming a Social Worker. Now, Badiqua's success and the success of her group and her book have come from her own experience, her own story, her own journey of being a new social worker that was confused in the profession, not knowing where to go, not knowing where to find information on things like licensing and support and membership. And so she used that pain, that journey, to create a solution for her and to help other people along the way. Now it's your turn. So when you're thinking about the part of your story that can help you figure out your niche, I want you to keep in mind a couple things. Number 1, you have many different stories that you could tell. And the story that you tell will influence your niche and what people ultimately get from you. And when you're using your story to choose your niche, you want to think about the part of your story where there's a transformation, where there's a change, where there's an improvement, where you've reached something that you wanted to reach. Entrepreneurship can be a confusing road. So if you need some help, I am always here. You can reach out to me. I'll leave all of the information in the description. I'm Eva Ford. You've been watching Rich Social Worker, where we talk about money, mindset, and motivation. If you want more videos like this, consider subscribing and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. I believe you can dream, be, do, or have anything you want, but it starts with your mindset, so make sure it's a rich one. I'll see you in the next video.